Hello. Let's talk about assessment and how important it is. As a special educator, it's important not only to recognize the relevance of the standardized assessment tools such as the Woodcock-Johnson, but to also understand that there are many sources of data that should go into the battery, that the standardized tests are only one measure. So you might ask, well, what else should go into the battery? Well, data involving observations, which means that you as a special educator should be in the classroom observing students with exceptionalities or those who may be in need of assessment, and looking to see what are their behaviors, not in just the classroom either, but across settings. You want to see them interacting with peers at recess. You want to see how they do at lunch. You want to see how they do with various teachers during structured time, during unstructured time, and during transitions. So observations are an important part of an assessment battery. Student work is critical. I love to look at student work and see how students were thinking when they attempted to solve a problem. So for example, if they're doing a math problem, I ask them to write out each step. I want to see where that error in logic is, or where they're struggling, where the confusion is. If I'm going to develop a strategy, I'm not going to make a global strategy. I'm going to target and focus that strategy where the error is. So again, student work is critical. You can pick it up over time. You can assess progress. You can look for difficulties that seem impervious to the strategies that you develop, but student work is important. Talk to teachers, talk to general ed teachers, talk to the teacher the year before, talk to paraprofessionals who have known the student. What are their conclusions? What are their assumptions? What do they believe about the student's skills and areas of need and areas of strength? And talk to the family member. You want to find out how the student does when they're at home. What do they struggle with? What are their parents' perceptions of what the student's abilities and strengths are? And what are the students' interests? You not only look at their academic skills, you look at their social skills, you look at their health, you look at what they're interested in. Knowing what they're interested in can often lead to positive reinforcement and help you create a positive classroom climate for a student. You also may ask, what do? I have this assessment data, and I know that I need to do it because it's required by special ed law. It has to be reported on the IEP. But other than that, what does it mean? Well, it absolutely should mean everything. The first thing you do is you talk about what you would like to see a student be able to do. You and the team come to a decision. We think this student should be able to do decoding. We think this student should be able to read through 2 pages of narrative in a book and maintain focus, be able to pull out the main ideas. You decide that. Then you decide how you're going to know if the student can do those things. The more closely your assessments match the activities in the classroom, the more aligned they are, the more likely that you're actually getting a valid assessment of that student's skills in those areas. So first you decide what you want the student to be able to do. Then you decide how you're going to know if they can do it. Then you decide how you're going to support them to do it. How are you going to teach? Who's going to teach? What are they going to use so that the student can learn the skills that he or she needs to succeed? And you collect the data on an ongoing basis, you review it on an ongoing basis, and you make modifications on an ongoing basis. Every time you modify the strategies, you modify the assessment a little bit, you adjust. So assessment and strategy should be married. They should be linked. They should be supporting one another. And as many sources of data that you can pull in that makes that battery robust, so you have a complete, valid, and comprehensive profile of the student's ability, skills, and needs, then you're closer to developing the appropriate strategies. Thank you so much.